Monday morning, everyone. We hope you're having a fantastic day so far. February 9th, 2009. Let me tell you what's happening right now. He's taking it. The stimulus bill isn't the only money up for debate right now. Hundreds of millions of dollars have been left behind from class action lawsuits, and all that money remains in limbo. So what should be done with this money? Should it go to charities? Or is the government the best recipient? Joining me is Patrick Parati, an attorney who has directed $18 million of those left behind dollars to charities with his organization Ohio Lawyers Give Back, and George Kruger, an attorney who has spoken out against this. Good morning to both of you gentlemen.
Good morning. Good morning.
All right, Patrick, let me start with you, since you came up with this whole idea of making use of a law that not a lot of people know about. It's called Pray. So what happens in these class action lawsuits where you can't find the people to give the money to? You want to give that money to charities.
Absolutely. Everybody gets those envelopes in the mail, and it says you're part of a class action. A lot of people throw them away. And the choice then is, what do you do with these unclaimed monies? Do you give them back to the wrongdoing defendant, or do you give them to the government? Or we think that with all these charities who are just dying because they have no donations, there's a better way, and that money could go to help the community, to help fight cystic fibrosis, leukemia, hunger, homelessness, drug addiction. And last July, we were blessed to be able to give from one lawsuit about $14 million to over 34 different charities, and that was the largest in U.S. history.
George, what in the heck would be wrong with that?
Well, there's nothing wrong with supporting charities, and indeed public charities should be supported. The question is whether or not the judicial system is the best way to support those public charities, and I suspect and I submit that the answer is it's not. The fact of the matter is that these monies are not claimed by class members. There are a number of things that could be done with that money. When money is not claimed, there could be a supplemental distribution, so class members who submitted these claims forms that were discussed receive additional compensation.
But you also argue in your editorial in the Wall Street Journal that maybe this money should go back to the government. Well,
that's right. There's every one of the 50 states has laws called escheat laws, and that means that money which is unclaimed or abandoned will revert back to the government.
Yeah, but Patrick, is that a good idea right now? We're talking about the government handing out billions of dollars, and a lot of it, especially to the banks, unaccountable?
It's a lot of the cases that we sue banks. And so the suggestion by George is that we take this money that this company committed to give back because of its activities and give it to the government. We just gave the government $700 billion from our tax money to banks, and they haven't done a great job with that.
You also argued, George, that some of the money should go back to the defendants, the potential wrongdoers in these cases?
That's right. Well, when we say potential wrongdoers, typically class action cases settle. And through a settlement, there's never or hardly ever an admission of liability or wrongdoing. So these parties settle the litigation to avoid the uncertainty of the litigation.
Right.
And when the money is not claimed, there's an argument that it should go back to the defendants, or it should escheat or go to the states.
Or if you believe Patrick, it should go to charities. And if you want to learn more about it, OhioLawyersGiveBack.com or .org. All right, I got to wrap it up there, gentlemen. Thank you so much for debating.
Thank you.
He still questions the decision.